Awful lead. We need to get out immediately. We pivot into Joltik. The opponent stays in. Farm up synergy. Send out Geodude. Look for the rock throw. Farm down. Joltik holds strong. Reach the discharge. Does the opponent respect the damage? They do not. And just like that, we take back switch. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are back at it, featuring my own battles in the Little Cup. I'll be honest, I've actually kind of enjoyed this cup because battles are incredibly quick and we get bonus Stardust for all our wins. I pride myself on showcasing unique triple shadow teams in the Go Battle League. So I had a look on pvpoke thinking, what can I run today? I typed the word shadow into the Little Cup rankings and I saw that Shadow Alolan Sandslash is ranked 2nd overall. So I thought that thing's got to be decent. I've got one. I powered it up. Unlocked the second move. If we scroll down just a touch, we'll see Shadow Joltik is ranked 17th, which is insanely high. I'll be honest, after using them both, I can see why. These two are absolute monsters in this meta. This brings us on to team building. These two paired together makes me insanely weak to fire. Shadow Alolan Sandslash actually double weak to fire, so we need a lead that covers this very tough vulnerability. I was thinking, what should I run? I was going to go with Goblet, but we've seen Goblet time and time again, so I thought let's use a ground or rock type. The reason I didn't use a rock type, something like Geodude or Graveler, is we're going to be ABA weak to fighting, and rock being a dreadful defensive type in, it doesn't resist rock. So a rock throw user would absolutely obliterate this team. So I thought Golet's going to get the nod. Without any further ado, let's get into the battles. And in game 1, we are off to a good start. Golett resisting Licky, far too Ficky's quick move of rollout. We've also got Brick Break that can hit him for super effective. We farm up, throw the Brick Break on the charge attack priority, forcing a Protect Shield. I love to call baits, but I didn't think it was worth calling there. And thankfully I didn't, as the opponent full sent a Shadow Ball, then save switch into Drifloon, and I respond with Joltik. To have any success in Little Cup, I'd highly recommend it using your shields. I am now down both Protect Shields that we leave with energy good to go. Back out comes Licky, far too Thicky. We fire off one Sucker Punch and the Cross Poison. Cross Poison isn't lethal, but able to Sucker Punch, farm down afterwards. Out comes Marowak. So when running an ABB team, you do need to pivot, looking to bait out the fire type, and unfortunately in this scenario, I haven't managed to do so. However, if we didn't have frustration, this game would still be over, as we'd be able to outpace to the Shadow Punch, winning the charge attack priority. Unfortunately, I've only got Brick Breaks. We farm up, catch the Bone Club, onto Sandslash, and I'm hoping that one Powder Snow has put them into Brick Break range. Brick Break, double resisted, but who cares in Little Cup? Everything does too much damage, and we take that game. As I don't really play Little Cup, I haven't actually got all the Pokemon I'd like without frustration. Both the Golett, I did remove frustration, and now Golett in the Ultra and Great League respectively. In the next battle, we see a dreadful lead. We save switch into Joltik. I should have committed there to the Thunderbolt, as you saw in the intro, but I was scared I wouldn't be able to do so. Cross Poison, forces shield regardless, but if this is a double rock throw team, we are in so much trouble. Back out comes Cottony. Unfortunately, I am still switch locked. I'm going to throw the Brick Break, looking to stall out the timer and eventually pivot out into Sandslash. You can see I'm spamming the switch. Despite it being a 50-second switch timer, I'm unable to switch out. There's the second rock throw user, and we're going to get fast move beat down. GG to that opponent. In the next battle, we see Chinchou in the lead. The opponent instantly pivot into Ducklet, and I respond with Sandslash. As they're on wing attack, I think Sandslash is certainly the way to go. If they're on water gun, you can kind of go to either. This matchup can get super annoying as the opponent's going to look to continually debuff the absolute shit out of me. Sandslash farms up, throws the first Ice Punch, forcing the Protect Shield. We're then able to fire off Ice Punch number 2 on the charge attack priority. Ice Punch rocks Ducklet deep into the red health range. At this point, I'm going to go for the one shield, look for the Powder Snow farm down, and hope to drill on the returning Chinchou. We look for the farm down, unfortunately unable to get it. The opponent literally survives a 1 HP and a dream. I'm going to burn the final protection, and I'll get it back if the opponent send back out Chinchou. I look top right, the opponent might think they caught a drill run. Nah, trainer, you did not. Ice Punch, double debuff. Still almost secures the knockout. The opponent then pivots back out into Chinchou. We fire off the Cross Poison. The opponent should have used their shield. They did not, and this game is already signed, sealed, and delivered. Golett can't tank too many moves, especially not super effective ones, but Bubble Beam is god-awful. We're able to survive. Mud Slap farm down. Back out comes Drifloon, and the opponent is going to get KO'd through the Protect Shield. GG's, and thanks for playing. In the next battle, we see the Pancake Unova Stunfisk in the lead. I was imagining the opponent would instantly pivot as this is such a bad matchup for him. The opponent actually opted to stay in, revealing they must be double weak. I'm going to best one Protect Shield, go for that full Mud Slap farm down, which we're able to get. The opponent now sends out Ducklet. I'm going to fire off the Brick Break and make the pivot into Joltik, looking to bait out a potential fire type. We pivot into Joltik, out comes Marowak, which is a fire type, but this is by no means a good matchup for him. You can see the sucker punches doing crazy damage. We fire off the cross poison, forcing a protection. The opponent looks for that fire spin farm down, but it's actually a simul KO. Joltik, you absolute legend. Honestly, some of these visual glitches are crazy right now. I've got no idea what's going on. What's KO'd, what's alive. Niantic, fix your fucking game. I say it time and time again. Sandslash farms up to the double ice punch. The opponent recognises there's nothing they can do, tank the damage, and we take that game. In the next battle, we see shiny Miltank in the lead. The opponent save switches into a shiny Spinder. That animation looks mad. I take far too long before I send out Joltik. However, the Mud Slap damage might have put in a range where we can go for the one shield. Full Sucker Punch farm down. We get the perfect farm down, leaving with energy good to go. Back out comes Miltank. I fire off one Sucker Punch and the Cross Poison. Cross Poison goes unshielded. I should instant throw here, as that rollout will be knocking me out. However, I make a mistake not going for the discharge, which would do more raw damage. But regardless, we force our Protect Shield back. I send back out Golett. The opponent allows me to reach the Brick Break. Brick Break will be knocking out or forcing the final Protect Shield. The opponent invests their final Protect Shield, and I've got a decision to make. I twin move Sandslash. Let's give it some screen time. I pivot out into Sandslash. The opponent's got Joltik in the back. Ice Punch. Going to be removing them from the field of play, picking up the clean one shot. Not that that's all that impressive in Little Cup. Back out comes Miltank. We Powder Snow farm down and take that game. Heading into the next battle, we're going to lead our Shadow Golett into Alolan Marowak. A nice lead for us, although as someone who's used Alolan Marowak, it's not anywhere near as bad as you might think. The opponent save switches into a wing attack Ducklet. So again, we're going to respond with Sandslash. The opponent fire off the Bubble Beam, which of course is super annoying. Again, we farm up to the double ice punch. Sandslash will be winning charge attack priority, so the opponent shields once. They're going to be forced to shield twice, or essentially get knocked out. The second ice punch rocks the opponent deep into the red health range. We played this matchup previously where I was unable to Powder Snow farm down. However, it looks like this Ducklet has worse IVs. I'm actually able to fully Powder Snow farm down, leaving with an ice punch. Ice punch won't do much double debuff, but all chip damage is welcome. I'm going to send back out Golett. Both Pokemon can hit this thing for super effective, but Golett only takes neutral from fire spins. Not that you'd really know that, as they are doing crazy damage. I'm going to go for the one shield, full farm down, knowing I can debuff whatever's in the back. The thing in the back happens to be Pikachu, and I am so sorry, trainer. Brick Break, force the protection. We throw one further Mud Slap that almost does half the health. We pivot into Joltik. The opponent says no thank you and concede the match. In the next battle, we see Ducklet in the lead. Regardless of the quick move, a god-awful matchup. They happen to be on Water Gun, which is even worse. We save switch into Joltik. The opponent tries to catch Cross Poison onto Amora, unsuccessfully. We force in the discharge, doing massive damage. Joltik once again takes back switch. Take a bow, little buddy. Back out comes Ducklet. We fire off the Cross Poison. Just looking to do some chip damage before the opponent potentially take me out of a Bubble Beam. Cross Poison goes unshielded. You've seen the message in the bottom right corner. The opponent has conceded the match. Joltik, I take my hat off to your buddy. What a pick. Heading into the next battle, we see Wiggles in the lead. If I say switch into Joltik, the opponent could just fully one shield and farm us down, which is pretty brutal. So I opt to stay in, try and obtain myself my early shield advantage with Golett, and then send out Sandslash. Sandslash is going to resist everything in Wigglytuff's arsenal, but we're a shadow Pokemon, so you need to use them shields. Everything does a lot of damage. Icy Wind would be double resisted. I don't care. We're going to shield, keep ourselves as healthy as we can. The opponent sends out Ducklet. We're going to fire off this Ice Punch. Regardless of it being debuffed, it still does some decent chip damage and pivot into Joltik. Out comes Aurorus. We reach the discharge. Discharge will either knock out or force the final Protect Shield. Discharge goes shielded. The opponent gets that full Rock Throw farm down. And it's all down to Sandslash to clean up. I've tasked Sandslash with the heavy lifting. I'm thinking, can I just double up on this Aurorus before taking him out with a resisted Ice Punch? The Rock Throws are doing far too much damage, so I bought that idea very quickly, but I think I've decided that far too late. Ice Punch removes them from the field of play. I look to reach the next Ice Punch. We die with the move and take a heartbreaking loss. GG's to that opponent. In the next battle, we see Barbarrel in the lead. I anticipated that being a good lead for me, especially with shields, as I thought they'd be on rollout. They're not. They're on Water Gun, so we abort, get out into Joltik, managing to bait out the Fire type. I think Joltik is such a sneaky save switch, as even when a Fire type comes in, we do so much damage to him in the process. We actually obtain ourselves a shield advantage. We send back out Golett, shield up the crunch. We're able to take him out before the next Incinerate registers, which is very nice for me. Back out comes the barrel. We fire off the brick break, force the opponent's final protect shield. Switch timer pops up and we get out into Sandslash. Surf certainly isn't a move that Sandslash will be tanking particularly well. We shield at the surf and out comes Goblet. We're going to fire off this Ice Punch before the opponent inevitably debuff me with a Bubble Beam. You can see a non-debuffed Ice Punch does so much damage. The opponent going to fire off the Bubble Beam. We tank the damage. Can we farm down, leaving with the Drill Run? Sandslash rapidly running out of HP, but able to survive on 1 HP and a Dream, leaving with the Drill Run. And Drill Run is going to be all she wrote. GG's. If you're wondering, the IVs for my Sandslash is actually very, very good. Rank 7, and my god, did I need all the bulk. In the next battle, we see Pachirisu in the lead. That thing is insanely bulky, but only runs mono-electric moves. That means Golett is going to double resist everything, and Joltik will also single resist. They're electric type quick moves, as electric does resist itself. The opponent's A switches into Goblet. We respond with Sandslash. Again, farming up to the double Ice Punch. The opponent shields the first, and they actually shield the second as well. It looks like the opponent's looking to hard fight for switch advantage. I don't really need switch, however, this is far too healthy of a duck for Joltik to be able to handle it. So we're going to fire off one further Ice Punch, put them into a Sucker Punch farm down range. The opponent does leave a Bubble Beam, so rather than tanking a super effective move, we're just going to send out Joltik, getting debuffed unfortunately, but a 1 Sucker Punch head start. With the Vigil glitch, I was almost certain that Sucker Punch knocked him out, but if you look top right now, you can see the opponent has 3 balls. That's going to come back to haunt me very quickly. As I anticipated, the only remaining Pokemon here being Pachirisu, the opponent sends a back out Goblet, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? Regardless, we should still be in a good spot. We're going to get off a couple of Mud Slaps, putting them in a range where Joltik should be able to clean up. No one move will be taking us out, and we've got a shield to hide behind. The opponent essentially playing out the inevitable. We land the Cross Poison, Sucker Punch farm down, and take that game. And that is going to bring us to the end of set number 2, where I got a very nice 4-1, and despite just throwing together a team, it has been performing very nicely, getting me on the cusp of veteran rank. Heading into the next battle. We see Amora in the lead. Both Pokemon will be hitting each other for super effective, but Mud Slap's doing objectively more. The opponent banks a charge move, a safe switch into their own Golett. We fire off the Brick Break, forcing a Protect Shield, and we send out Joltik. The opponent could throw a Shadow Punch, so I'm going to respect it. To my surprise, the opponent does actually Sucker Punch, or Shadow Punch I should say, rather than throw the Brick Break, which would be resisted as Bug does resist fighting. Back out comes Amora. Cross Poison forces the Protect Shield, and the opponent is going to take me out of a Weather Ball. Powder Snow pacing to Weather Ball is insanely quick, 5 of them force. We send out Sandslash, anticipating the opponent blind throwing the Weather Ball. They actually save their Amora. Pivot out into Dunsparce. We fire off the Ice Punch. Ice Punch gets the opponent insanely low. We send out Golett. The opponent forced to dump their energy. Any move would take me out. The opponent's got Dig, probably because they got lack of TMs, much like myself. Back out comes Amora. The opponent recognises there's nothing they can do, and they concede the match. In the next battle, we see the mirror lead. I'm going to go straight for my Brick Break. You can see the opponent took the extra, which probably means they're going to shield and look to hard fight for switch. I'm going to send out Joltik. I am going to respect the potential Shadow Punch, although it's probably a Brick Break. But in Little Cup, just use them shields. We do get baited with a Brick Break that not only feels bad, but also lowers my defense. The opponent sends out Shadow Alolan Sandslash, running Shadow Claw. Despite me having lowered defense, you can see that the Sucker Punches are doing so much damage. We're able to one shield, fully Sucker Punch farm down. Out comes Amora. I'm thinking this game's over. Joltik does have a higher attack. However, I've got a PvP IV Joltik, so I'm thinking I can tank any one move on Sandslash, throw the Drill Run, force the Protect Shield, and Discharge should be knocking them out. However, we're very quickly going to see that I'm actually not able to win charge attack priority. So if the opponent's got a really attack weighted Amora, they are going to win charge attack priority. And unfortunately, we take a heartbreaking loss. GG's to that opponent. To be honest, that is such a hard throw by me. I should have just thrown the Discharge and then got into Sandslash. But it is what it is. We all know I like to play like a potato. In the next battle, we are looking for redemption against Amora's big brother, Aurorus. We're able to fully Powder Snow farm down this Wigglytuff, leaving with a whole heap of energy. So if Aurorus does return, we've got that draw on. It looks like the opponent actually got denied there coming in, which is kind of bad for them, as we are now going to be able to force both Protect Shields or just cleanly knock them out. The opponent's showing a Rock Throw user and a Charmer. This is almost certainly some kind of nonsense fast move pressure team. There's the second Charmer. Out comes Joltik. Joltik not particularly good into Charmers when shields are in play. Our quick move is resisted, but when shields are down, it does so much damage. We even get an unnecessary boost for no reason whatsoever. Golett going to be able to reach the Brick Break, double super effective, and probably kill this Aurorus and all its relatives. GG's, and thanks for playing. Heading into the next battle, we see Chinchou in the lead. If they're on Spark, dominant. If they're on Bubble, more of a neutral matchup. The opponent throws one Spark, pivot into their own Golett. We chip them with a few Mud Slaps and then send out Joltik. Again, we are going to respect the Shadow Punch, but of course the opponent Brick Break baits me, because who doesn't love to bait a Shadow Pokemon? Or perhaps they've only got a single move like myself. Who knows? Not me. Back out comes Chinchou. We fire off the Cross Poison, forcing a Protect Shield, and again we boost. Bubble Beam will not be lethal. Joltik going to withstand the damage, reach one further Cross Poison. Cross Poison will be knocking out or forcing the final Protect Shield. Joltik once again absolutely popping off. Out comes Drifloon. We show him Sandslash. This game, of course, is going to be over and the opponent concedes the match. In the next battle, we see a horrendous lead. We're going to say switch into Joltik, and out comes Barrel, this time on rollout. We're going to farm up, throw the Cross Poison. Cross Poison will be forcing a Protect Shield, and it looks like we actually Simul KO. You can see my Pokemon is removed, or at least so you would think. However, I actually Sucker Punch farmed them down before the rollout registered. So there's my opponent's view. They can still see Joltik on the screen, despite the game telling me it's dead. They then sniped me with a wing attack. I thought I was in the guessing game, so I let the game decide. Out comes Ducklet. Of course, Golett has nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. I would have just sacked it against this Ducklet. Give me a better chance of winning. This game is just such a mess right now. It's so weird to see both sides. I don't really know what to say, other than we're going to say GG's. Of course, my opponent can't help the game state, but I think I had a pretty good chance of winning this if I actually knew what the hell was going on. Heading into the next battle, we see Ducklet in the lead. God awful for us. We say switch into Joltik, and out comes Chinchou. I fire off the Cross Poison. I'm thinking there is no chance I lose CMP. Opponent fire off the Bubble Beam, and I don't even know what was going on there. We didn't get a move through. We didn't CMP. Oh man, it's been like 17 minutes, but now you can see the game state is really getting into a shambolic position. However, regardless, we're able to force ourselves a shield advantage, and the opponent is forced to throw. We've now got Sandslash, up a Protect Shield, hoping to do something in the back. I'm going to fully wait out my clock. I'm going to take the one Mud Slap, running start. The opponent actually enter the mirror, and I am so happy with that. Oh boy, Sandslash certainly doesn't want to see this thing. We fire off the Brick Break goes unshielded. I've got two shields, and I'm thinking that we're just going to save them for Slash, but you can see just one singular Mud Slap does absolutely absurd damage. But regardless, we're still in a good spot. We're going to fire off this Ice Punch while the opponent is still switch locked. And then we've got to be mindful this time, as I can see the balls in the right hand corner, that Chinchou is still alive. So we've got to anticipate the opponent attempting to make a catch at some stage. I'm just going to keep farming. There's the attempted catch unsuccessfully. Despite another very poor showing from Niantic, I will be emerging victorious. GG's. Heading into the next battle. Another Cottony lead. Yeah, we know how this one goes. No thanks for me, and a say switch into Joltik. The opponent sends out Golett. That is by no means a good response. We're easily able to fully farm them down before the opponent even reaches a charge move. I just love Joltik. It is such a good mon. Back out comes Cottony. We fire off one Sucker Punch and the Cross Poison, hoping we can reach two, and we can. Joltik absolutely popping off. If you've got one, give it a try. This thing is a monster. It flipped switch advantage and took both shields off the opponent's lead. Not too many times you're going to find a scenario like that. Of course, we're going to flip alignment. We're going to shield, keep farming up. The opponent pivots out into a barrel. This is Little Cup, non-stab drill run, almost knocks him out. We would be able to Powder Snow farm down, and the opponent is going to concede the match, and that was all Joltik putting in that work. In the next battle, Shadow Ducklet in the lead. We say switch into Joltik, and out comes Spinder. I'm more than happy with this. We're ahead in energy, and we outpace them. We fire off the Cross Poison, which the opponent's reluctant to shield, giving me the opportunity to take back switch, which of course I'm going to do. We're going to shield the Icy Wind. The opponent might have debuffed me, but if Ducklet returned, trust me, trainer, you're giving that shield back, as I am full sending. Does the opponent respect the damage discharge? Boo. Go shielded. We can now realign our Pokemon, sending out Sandslash into this Ducklet, but the opponent does now have a huge energy lead. The opponent fire off the Bubble Beam. However, as this Shadow and Shadow Crime, this Ice Punch should still be removing them from the field of play. The opponent invests their final Protect Shield, revealing they must be weak to Slash in the back. I am going to shield up the bubble beam. It hurts to shield up a bubble beam, but I need to shield something. We're not going to be able to powder snow farm down, so I'm going to bank all the energy I can, catch the bubble beam onto Golett. Bubble beam won't be lethal. The opponent then sends out Cottony. We're not going to reach the brick break, and I need to double up on charge moves. I'm going to fire off the Ice Punch, as one Ice Punch won't be lethal. Can we powder snow farm down? Leaving with the next Ice Punch, Razor Leaf is resisted, but regardless, the opponent able to Razor Leaf farm me down, and we take a heartbreaking loss. In the next battle, we see Cotton in the lead. We save switch into Joltik. The opponent responds with Geodude, looking for that rock throw farm down. Joltik says no, fires off the hard hitting discharge. The opponent shows no respect. Just like that, we take back switch once again. Oh, baby. The opponent didn't follow the golden rule of Little Cup. Just bloody use them shields. Yes, everything's resisted, but Shadow and Shadow Crime type-ins count for nothing. We show him Sandslash, and the opponent concedes the match. In the next battle, we see Alolan Marowak in the lead. The opponent retreat into Bibarel. We put him in a range where we can just Sucker Punch farm and down. Back out comes Marowak, and again we are full sending. Does the opponent respect the damage? Joltik, chill bro. Joltik running absolutely rampant. Unfortunately, we miss out on the cross poison. But with 2 shields, I've already decided this is going to be a fast move beatdown to the finish. We send out Sandslash. Eventually, I can reset my debuff, sending out Golett. However, we might not need to. We might be able to fully powder snow farm them down. The opponent does actually water gun farm me down, but we're able to get the double resisted mud slap farm down and take that game. Heading into the next battle, another Ducklet lead. Brilliant. However, Joltik on the save switch has been doing pretty good. The opponent sends out Golett. Trainer, no, that isn't the response you're looking for. Joltik, of course, will be flipping this matchup. And when Ducklet returns, if it returns, this opponent should know I'm not a fan of baiting. Does the opponent respect the damage? Bang! There's the boom! Out comes Cottony, and we've got a present for them as well. We fire off the cross poison, forcing a protect shield. Finally, the opponent removes my pesky spider from the field of play. But trainer, again, I am so sorry. I'm actually going to be really cheeky. Send out Golett. Fire off the Brick Break. Brick Break might go shielded, might not. It really doesn't matter. I just wanted to lower the defense. We show him Sandslash and the opponent concedes the match. GG's. In the next battle, we see Pachirisu in the lead. The opponent save switches into Ducklet, and I actually am going to respond with Joltik. As they're on Water Gun, I'm thinking, let's go for this thing and fish for some boost, as Joltik has been a monster so far. The opponent invests the Protect Shield, fire off the Bubble Beam. I'm going to reach one further cross poison. Cross poison might not be lethal, but the opponent might not know that and might give me both protect shields. The opponent actually doesn't give me both shields. We get the boost and we take switch. Joltik. Oh gosh. I don't know what this Joltik had for breakfast. It must have been Weetabix or something, but it's just going bananas. We send back out Golett. The opponent's continuing to stay in, so I do shield one double resisted Thunder Punch, thinking you must be so weak in the back. I tank the second, and I am in so much trouble. After having a lot of fun, it's time for Jamie Finn to get a taste of his own medicine. How many fire spins do you think Sandslash survives? The answer is not even 3. GG's to that opponent. So a much better play would have been to send out Sandslash, because then if the opponent potentially had a fire type in the back, Joltik can actually do some damage to him rather than get deleted. But it is what it is. You can't win them all. And that is just about going to wrap things up for today's video. I'll be honest, I think Joltik is incredible. Sandslash is ranked 2. I don't think it put in quite as much work. But if you've got a Joltik, power that thing up and go have some fun. So if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button. If you're new, consider subscribing. If you like your battles featured on my channel, a link to our battle submission form is down below. And as always, a huge thanks to everyone for watching. And I'll see you all in the next one.